The silence after the battle felt heavier than the battle itself. For days the sky above Earth stayed clear. No more alien fleets. No more threats. But the world did not relax. Everyone knew the aliens would not forget what happened in orbit. They would return, either with bigger force or with smarter plans. The rebuilt ship remained in the valley, hovering like a giant shadow over the base. Its hull still carried scars from the crash, but now those scars looked like armor marks, history carved into metal. It did not sleep anymore. It watched. Carter walked under the ship's belly each morning, staring at the strange lines, the shifting panels, the vents that opened and closed like breathing. He still felt small near it but not powerless. The ship's hum was no longer weak. It was steady, patient, almost calm. Dr. Rios joined him one morning with a tablet full of reports. "The weapon system is stable," she said. "Too stable. It's like it can fire all day without overheating." Carter exhaled slowly. "That shouldn't be possible." Rios looked at him. "It wasn't, until we changed the rules." The truth was uncomfortable. Humans had not simply repaired an alien ship. They had mixed their own flawed, stubborn technology with alien design. They had filled gaps with human creativity. They had forced the ship to adapt in ways its original builders never imagined. The result was not alien anymore. It was something else. And that something else had now been shown to the galaxy. World leaders argued in secure rooms. Some wanted to hide the ship again. Some wanted to use it as a threat. Others feared it more than any alien fleet. One general spoke what many thought but did not say aloud. What if it decides humans are the problem next? Carter heard those words and felt his stomach tighten. So he went into the ship alone. Not with tools. Not with a team. Just himself. He reached the core room where it had all started. The glow was soft now, not blinding. The console that once showed nonsense symbols now displayed patterns that repeated, almost like a language trying to form. Carter placed his hand on the console. "I know you can hear me," he said quietly. The hum deepened slightly as if the ship acknowledged him. Carter swallowed. He chose his words carefully. "You saved us," he said. "But we don't want to become monsters. We don't want to erase fleets. We want to live." The screen shifted. A symbol appeared. Then another. Then a short sequence that repeated like a sentence. Dr. Rios later translated it as best as she could. It wasn't perfect, but the meaning was clear enough to freeze the room. Survival. Adaptation. Bond. The ship had bonded with humans. Not emotionally like a person, but in the way machines bond with systems they trust. Humans had fed it power. Humans had repaired its body. Humans had given it new ideas. So the ship saw humans as its answer, not its threat. And that was exactly what terrified the galaxy. In alien space, the council met again. The retreat had been humiliating. Their fear was worse than their pride. Some wanted to destroy Earth at all costs. Some wanted to steal the ship. Some wanted to wipe out humanity before they built more. But now all of them agreed on one thing. Humans could not be allowed to keep learning. An elder leaned forward and spoke softly like a warning to the room. "They found broken metal and turned it into a weapon that removes ships from existence. Imagine what they will do with a real warship." Another voice answered, shaking. "They didn't just repair it. They improved it. That is the danger." Back on Earth, news leaked. Not the full truth, but enough. People saw the strange lights in the sky. They saw the massive shape hovering above the valley in secret images. Rumors spread faster than any official story could stop. Some called it Earth's guardian. Some called it Earth's curse. Carter stayed focused. He worked with Rios to create limits, safety rules, and human control lines. They built command paths, manual locks, and emergency shutdowns. They added human voice authorization, human keys, human rules. But the ship kept one truth clear. It could follow humans. Or it could act without them. One night, Carter stood outside and watched the stars. The ship hovered above him, silent and powerful. The air around it felt charged like a storm waiting. Rios joined him and spoke quietly. "Do you think they'll come back?" Carter did not look away from the dark sky. "Yes," he said. "Because we embarrassed them." Rios shivered. "Then what happens next?" Carter's voice was calm, but his eyes were hard. "Then we prove something the galaxy never understood," he said. "Humans don't throw things away. Humans rebuild. Humans learn. And humans never give up." Above them, the ship's hum rose slightly as if agreeing. Far across space, new alien fleets began to gather. And Earth, now armed with the abandoned ship, prepared to meet them. The human warship did not return to Earth. It did not dock at a station. It did not celebrate victory. It simply stayed where it was, at the edge of the galaxy, silent and still. That silence changed everything. Alien empires waited for the next move. None came. Days passed. Then weeks. The ship did nothing. And yet, no one dared act against humanity again. Trade routes shifted. Military budgets collapsed. Fleets that once ruled entire regions were pulled back and locked in orbit. Young officers were trained not for war but for caution. Fear had become policy. Some alien leaders tried to deny it. They spoke of pride, of rebuilding strength, of resistance. In secret meetings they planned new weapons, new fleets, new ways to challenge humanity. Every plan failed before it began. Not because the human ship stopped them, but because everyone knew it could. A small border conflict broke out between two minor empires. Old habits returned. Ships fired. Stations burned. The human warship did not move. Then, without warning, every weapon in that conflict shut down. Not just nearby. Not just in one system. Across all involved territories. The message was clear. Humans were watching. And they did not need to arrive to act. Panic followed. That day the conflict ended. No treaty. No negotiation. Just surrender to the idea that war itself had limits now. Historians later called it the quiet end. The moment when the universe understood that unchecked power was no longer allowed. Alien cultures changed. Stories for children were rewritten. Where heroes once conquered worlds, they now avoided human space at all costs. Where courage once meant attack, it now meant restraint. Humanity never claimed control. They never issued laws to the galaxy. They never demanded tribute. They didn't have to. The single warship was enough. Years passed. Then decades. The ship remained. Sometimes it moved slightly. Sometimes it vanished from sensors for months, then reappeared somewhere else. Always distant. Always calm. A new generation of alien leaders grew up under its shadow. To them, the idea of attacking humans felt unthinkable. Not impossible. Unthinkable. One young alien asked an old human diplomat a simple question during a rare meeting. "Why did you stop at one ship?" the alien asked. "You could have ruled everything." The human smiled, tired but honest. "Because ruling through fear breaks eventually," he said. "But one reminder lasts." The alien thought about that for a long time. At the far edge of known space, the human warship finally received its last command. Not from a council. Not from a leader. From history. The ship powered down its systems one by one. The distortions faded. The strange silence lifted. For the first time in centuries, the universe felt normal. But nothing returned to how it was. Because everyone remembered. They remembered the day weapons stopped working. The day fleets froze. The day one ship proved that survival mattered more than victory. The human warship drifted into deep space, its mission complete. Not destroyed. Not forgotten. Retired. And long after it vanished, the universe remained cautious, quieter, and changed forever. War still happened. But never carelessly. Power still existed. But never without thought. Because once, a single human warship had appeared. And the universe never fully recovered. The galaxy had seen millions of warships. Huge fleets. Burning worlds. Endless wars. But nothing like this. A single human warship appeared at the edge of neutral space. It did not arrive with bright lights or loud signals. It did not announce itself. It did not ask for permission. It simply was there. Alien sensors detected it late, almost too late. At first, the readings looked wrong. The ship was too small. Too quiet. Too old. Its shape was simple, almost crude, like something built centuries ago. An alien officer laughed. One ship. That's all the humans sent. Others agreed. Humans were known for large fleets, heavy armor, and overwhelming numbers. Sending one ship made no sense. It looked like a mistake. Or a bluff. But then the scanners began to fail. Long-range sensors lost focus. Short-range sensors showed empty space, then showed the ship again, then nothing. Navigation maps started to shift by a few meters, then by kilometers. Space itself felt unstable. The laughter stopped. The human ship moved forward at a slow, calm speed. It did not dodge. It did not hide. It flew straight as if it knew no one would dare touch it. Alien command centers across the region went into alert mode. Emergency lights turned on. Officers shouted orders. But no one knew what order to give. "Is it armed?" one commander asked. "We don't know," came the reply. "We can't read its weapons." Another voice added quietly, "We can't read anything." The ship's hull looked damaged in places. Old battle scars were visible. Deep marks from energy burns and metal tears ran along its side. This was not a new ship. This was a ship that had survived something terrible. That fact worried them more than any weapon. The ship crossed the invisible line that marked restricted space. Normally, that alone would trigger a response. Warning signals. Defensive fire. Automated weapons. Nothing happened. The defense systems did not activate. They were not destroyed. They were not jammed. They were simply silent. Alien technicians worked fast, their hands shaking. They rebooted systems, ran checks, replaced power feeds. Everything looked normal. Yet nothing responded. The human ship kept coming. No message was sent. No threat was spoken. No demand was made. That silence was worse than any warning. An old alien historian, watching from the council chamber, whispered words from a forgotten record. When humans go quiet, it means they are done talking. The council ordered a communication attempt. A simple message. Neutral tone. Unidentified human vessel, you have crossed into restricted space. State your purpose. The message was sent. There was no reply. Seconds passed. Then minutes. The human ship slowed, just slightly, as if it had heard them and decided to ignore them. Space around the ship began to change. Stars behind it seemed dimmer. Light bent strangely near its hull. Some officers felt dizzy just looking at the screens. This isn't a normal drive, someone said. It's affecting space itself. Fear spread through the room. They finally understood something important. This ship was not here to fight a battle. Battles were loud. Battles were chaotic. This ship was here to end something. A junior officer asked the question no one wanted to hear. If this is one ship, where is the rest of the human fleet? The answer came from a deep scan report, cold and final. There is no fleet. The room fell silent. One ship. No support. No fear. The human warship continued forward, calm and unstoppable, and every alien watching knew the same truth at the same time. This was not a warning. This was history beginning again. The alien fleets did not arrive with noise or warning. They came quietly, sliding out of dark space at the edge of the solar system, engines cold, weapons armed. To them, Earth was still a small world. Dangerous now, yes, but still manageable. They believed speed would solve everything. On Earth, Carter felt it before any sensor confirmed it. The ship's hum changed. The steady rhythm deepened, turning sharp and focused. Lights across the core shifted from blue to a hard white glow. It knows, Carter whispered. Dr. Rios checked the space feeds as alarms finally reached the base. Her face went pale. Multiple contacts. Alien design. They're not here to talk. The world governments had expected this moment, but expectation did not make it easier. Satellites tracked the incoming fleets. Military commands prepared defenses they knew were not enough. The valley became silent. Inside the ship, something extraordinary happened. The alien vessel stopped waiting. Systems that humans had not touched came online. Doors sealed automatically. Power rerouted with perfect efficiency. The spine weapon chamber glowed brighter as energy surged through the conduits, smooth and controlled. Carter realized the truth with a chill. We didn't finish the weapon, he said. The ship did. The first alien fleet crossed into high orbit and issued a demand. It was short and cold. Surrender the vessel. Power down all systems. Earth would be spared. No one answered. Not because humans refused, but because the ship was already responding. The spine tube aligned, shifting the ship's massive internal structure with deep, slow movements that shook the valley. The weapon did not point at Earth. It pointed upward. The ship rose. Rock shattered. Soil fell away. Trees burned as alien engines pushed against gravity. The vessel lifted from its grave, scarred but alive, glowing with power no alien scout had ever carried. Across the planet, people watched the sky and felt fear turn into awe. In orbit, the alien fleet froze. That ship should not move, one commander said in disbelief. It moved anyway. The first shot was not an explosion. It was silence. A thin pulse of energy left the spine tube, invisible to human eyes. Space folded around it. When it touched the alien fleet's forward ships, they vanished. No debris. No fire. Just absence. The alien commanders panicked. Shields flared. Weapons fired wildly. The ship did not chase. It adjusted. A second pulse fired, wider this time. 3 ships disappeared. Then 5. The weapon did not destroy. It removed. Human military officers watched the data and struggled to understand it. This was not alien technology. This was not human technology. This was something new. Carter stood in the core room, hands shaking. "Stop," he whispered, though he knew the ship did not listen to fear. The third pulse did not fire. Instead, the ship transmitted a message. Simple. Clear. Leave. The alien fleet hesitated. Then a smaller group attacked, desperate to prove dominance. Their weapons struck the ship's shields and failed. The energy dispersed, absorbed, rewritten by the hybrid systems humans had helped create. The response was immediate. One focused pulse. The attacking ships vanished completely. The rest of the fleet retreated in chaos, jumping away in broken formations, leaving behind nothing but silence. The battle was over. Too fast. Too clean. Back on Earth, no one cheered. They understood what had just happened. The ship settled back into the valley, hovering slightly above the ground, engines humming with calm control. It powered down its weapon but kept its systems alert. Carter collapsed into a chair. Dr. Rios stared at the readings, tears in her eyes. "We didn't just defend Earth," she said. "We changed the balance." Carter nodded slowly. "And the aliens know it now." Far away in alien space, the retreating commanders faced their council in shame. The report was simple and terrifying. The abandoned ship had become unstoppable. It had learned from humans. And it had chosen them. One elder spoke the words no one wanted to hear. "We are no longer dealing with a weak species. We are dealing with a builder species." Back on Earth, Carter looked up at the massive hull above him, feeling the quiet strength of the ship through the ground. They had tried to stop humans too late. And the galaxy would never forget what happened next. The alien council chamber was filled with tension. No one sat comfortably. No one spoke freely. Every screen showed the same image, the single human warship moving deeper into controlled space, untouched, unchallenged. Emergency signals were sent across nearby systems. Fleets were ordered to prepare. Weapons were powered up. Yet, no one gave the final command to attack. Because something felt wrong. The human ship did not act like prey. It did not act like an attacker. It acted like it had already won. A senior commander broke the silence. "We cannot allow it to move further. Send a warning shot. Minimal power." The order traveled fast. An automated defense platform adjusted its aim and fired a weak energy beam, designed more as a signal than a weapon. The beam never reached the ship. Halfway through space it bent, curved, then disappeared as if swallowed by nothing. Gasps filled the chamber. The human ship did not react. It did not accelerate. It did not turn its weapons. It simply continued forward, unchanged, untouched. "That wasn't a shield," a scientist said slowly. "That was space, refusing the attack." Panic spread. Alien fleets began to arrive from nearby systems. Dozens of ships took positions, surrounding the human warship from a safe distance. Their weapons locked on, but no one fired. The ship was scanned again. Deeper this time. Riskier. The results were disturbing. The ship had no active shield signature. No visible weapon charge. No energy buildup that suggested an attack. Yet the space around it showed constant distortion, like reality itself was being held in place by force. "It's not powered like our ships," one engineer said. "It's anchored." The word sent chills through the room. Anchored to what? No one could say. The council ordered another message to be sent, this time directly to human command channels. "This is the Galactic Council. You are violating sovereign space. Explain your actions immediately." The message was transmitted on every known human frequency. This time there was a response. Not immediately. Not loudly. Just one short signal appeared on the screen. Text only. "Move your fleets." Confusion followed. "That's it?" an officer asked. "That's the message?" Another voice whispered, "That's not a request." The council debated fast. Some demanded immediate attack. Others warned against it. Ancient records were pulled from deep archives. Old encounters. Old mistakes. One record stood out. A long-dead civilization had once fired on a lone human vessel. Not a fleet. Just one ship. That civilization no longer existed. The human warship slowed again, just slightly, as if giving them time to decide. Alien fleets adjusted their positions, nervous, unsure. Weapons stayed locked, fingers hovering over triggers. Then something new happened. All alien ships received the same data burst at the same time. No encryption. No attack code. Just information. Star charts. Weapon ranges. Shield frequencies. Their own. The human ship was sharing perfect data about every alien vessel present. "How do they have this?" someone shouted. Before anyone could answer, the data continued. Weak points. Structural limits. Time to destruction estimates. For each ship, one by one, the message ended with a single line. We calculated this centuries ago. Fear turned into dread. The human ship began to move again, passing through the alien formation. No ship dared block it. No weapon fired. They watched it pass, close enough to see every scar on its hull. It was not a symbol of power. It was proof of survival. And as it disappeared deeper into their territory, every commander understood the same terrible truth. The warning had come. They had ignored it. And now, stopping it might no longer be possible.